Off this section with The Times, Josh, and hopefully some good news for equality.
Indeed. Labour welcomes UK Equality Act review. Now, this is Kemi Badenoch. She said yesterday that it was going to be referred to the EHRC to make sure that what does sex actually mean when it comes to dealing with the protection of women and, and people who have the gender recognition certificate. And there's a bit of confusion there.
Yes.
So now they're going to go, it's biological sex where it needs to be.
So what's interesting about that is a lot of activists online are saying, oh, look, they're redefining the Equality Act, but surely it always meant biological sex.
Yeah, it did until they came along and went, no, well, women could be anything, basically.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're just clarifying what the existing...
Exactly, just to push back against that.
Yeah.
Labour, who put out a tweet last week on Trans Visibility Day, day 356 of the year, or two or whatever, they put out a thing and one of the things that they said was that they were going to bring in a ban, if they get in a ban of full conversion practice, which is very worrying because that would mean that affirmation would be banned, i.e. someone goes in and says, I'm a boy or I'm a girl, and they go, yeah, you are. And if you say, well, let's talk about some other issues, then you could arguably, the case would go... Right. So the point is, Labour's a bit all over it, even though they seem to be understanding that, as I've said before, 50% of the population are women, so they sort of go, well, maybe we should start focusing a bit more.
I mean, Starmer said to the Sunday Times this week that there would be no rolling back on women's rights if they were in government. He said the lesson from Scotland is that you can't take the public with you on a journey of reform. If you can't take the public on a journey of reform, then you're probably not on the right journey. Is it the case, Nick, that Starmer is kind of seeing what happened to Nicola Sturgeon and has kind of worked it out, that actually, at this point, you have to clarify what sex means and not pretend you don't know, which is what he's done in previous interviews.
He says that this week, but then every week he says something different. You think he's rolling back on it, now he's reaffirming it. Starmer's thing is to try and say nothing until he wins the election. This is his big policy. And here, you look what he said. Clarification is a good thing. I mean, is this a bold statement? This is the most ridiculous statement.
How could the opposite be true?
We will look closely at what's brought forward. He's saying absolutely nothing, so I don't trust him to sort this.
Is it because the Equality and Human Rights Commission have come in and they've now said, actually, it's really important that we clarify this?
It could be, yeah. Hopefully Starmer will do the right thing in it. I just don't know, because he seems to... He'll say something like 99.9% of women don't have penises. You're like, what about the last little percentage there? So none of them have penises.
He's almost there, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
only
close.
0.01%.
Yeah, but the thing is, that 0.1% is a massive difference, because that's what it's... You know, as you just said, you know, in Free Speech Nation, it's not a gotcha question. Either you can answer the question honestly, or you can't. And he does. Now, a few months ago, it was 99%. Now it's gone up to 99.9. It doesn't matter if every week he progresses 99.9999. It doesn't matter. No, 100% of women don't have willies.
Yes.
That's where he needs to get to. And that is a massive shift to get to that point. And he's not there yet.
Basically, accept the penis, Starmer.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying.
And he, you know, he could say, oh, we're going to protect women's rights. If he can't accurately define what a woman is, it means nothing.
But this is... Go on,
to me, a lot of the problem stems from the Equality Act itself. All sort of wokeness. Sunak said here, it's allowed every kind of woke nonsense to permeate public life. Every time you hear something really stupid, it seems to go back to the Equality Act. The only good thing about it is occasionally you can use it to hoist leftists by their own petard, where you say, well, that's against the Equality Act.
No, but you need to be able to protect people in the workplace.
Of course you disagree, you're a big lefty. But the thing is... Well, you said a lot on the story. I'll just say mine.
You don't believe in equality?
You say the whole thing.
OK, but you don't believe in equality?
No, I don't believe in the Equalities Act necessarily, because it's... Like, for example, it reduced Christianity, some would argue, to sort of just another religion along with any, like, Scientology. It doesn't... No good seems to have come from it. I don't agree with equality either, by the way. No, because it's a leftist, collectivist...
No, but you don't believe that there should be protection for protected characteristics, being a woman...
I do think being a woman...
Being a religious of whatever your religion is.
So, for instance, if someone was fired for being gay, that should be illegal, presumably.
Yeah, that should be illegal. But
that's the Equality Act, then.
Well, why does it seem to cause so much trouble, then?
Because people don't know what it means anymore.
Because this one little thing. Everything else was defined, being gay, you know, being Jewish, being Christian, whatever it is. But the problem was that then some activists came along and said, we're going to totally throw what women means out the window.
Right, well, they do need to protect the spaces for women. And I just want to say, lastly, there's people like Joe Morn on Twitter saying that they're trying to victimise a vulnerable minority, distract from their own failures of government. That seems bizarre to me.
I think we can safely ignore pretty much everything that Jolly Mormon's got to say. Anyway, we're moving on now